Okay, I'm ready to start tiling the bathroom, so let's take a look at them. All right, so the first one I'm gonna do is the basement. I'm gonna start on the walls over here. I figured if I make a mess on the floors, really doesn't matter, so I'll do those last. The type of tiles that I'm gonna use on here are going to be 12 by 24s, and then on the floors are going to be 7 by 15s. So I got all my stuff ready. I got my different trowels. So let's see what we got. So this is a 1/4 inch square notch trowel. So this one is going to be used for the 7 by 15 tiles. It's nothing. So this is my 1/2 inch square notch trowel. This is going to be used for large format. So this is the 12 by 24s. Anything greater than 15 inches is considered a large format tile. This is a special Ditra trowel that's 1164 square notch trowel. This one is being used when I place the Schluter Ditra membrane on the floor. And then this one we're not going to be using right now, but this one is a 1/4 inch V-notch trowel. This one is used for the kitchen backsplash. I also found these things that are pretty cool to get into really tight spots. I never used these before, but you got your squares and then you got your V-notches. I usually like to use these for back buttering. I find them to be much quicker and easier and less painful on my wrist than using the backside of the trowel to back butter the tiles. I'm going to be using the self-leveling system. I use the lash system. I know there's a couple of other ones. There's a Spin Doctor that I've seen before. I've never used that one, but I've used these before, so I'm going to continue using them. And I've got my trusty clip tool over here as well. Got the tile machine set up. Now it's about 15 degrees outside, so I'm not going to be running in and out. So I just set the machine down over here, and I got a tarp just to catch all the water. These are the tiles I'm going to be using for the bathroom. So this one is going to be for the wall. It's a 12 by 24. And this one is going to be for the floor. It's a 7 by 15. I like how they play off of each other. It's the wood grain gray look. And this one is predominantly white. You see a little bit of gray speckles on here. And I think they're gonna play off of each other really well. I've got my thin set all mixed up. I'm gonna follow the 5-10-3 rule. So I mix it for 5 minutes. I'm letting it sit for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna mix it again for 3 more minutes, and I'll be ready to rock with that. I got this room set up over here for all of my different thin set mortars. I have to get 3 different kinds. So this one over here is a non-modified, also known as uncoupling. So this one you use with tile over the Ditra. So basically use this one for its non-modified. This one is polymer modified. So this one is for large style and tone, anything greater than 15 inches. This bag is $30. There's only one purpose for this bag, and that is when I'm laying the Ditra on top of the OSB, because this is the only one that I could use for plywood. And essentially this one is the same as this, but you can't lay it on as many subfloor materials. So this one you can't lay over plywood. So what I'm going to be using this one for, again, it's polymer modified, but I'm going to be using this basically for the walls, because they're all cement boards, and then also for the basement floor when I'm securing the Ditra underlayments. So that's about it. just wiping down the back from any of the factory dust and grime that's on here. And I'm going to attach the lash systems onto the other tiles. So put one over here, and then I'll probably put one right over here. Now I'm going to back butter just to get proper adhesion. Haven't been able to get the right consistency of the mortar. The other one was a little bit too thick. This one's a little bit too thin. Hopefully the next batch I'll be able to get right in the middle. This one's a little bit easier to work with, but it's also messier. Now, what I like to do is put it on the wall first, and then I'll be able to put the spacers on. So we put it on the wall. Spacers. I don't have any right here. Now the other important thing is getting rid of all of the thin set in between your line, because when you go to grout the next day, you're going to be screwed because it's all going to be hard. So just have to be neat and get rid of all that. I usually just use a clip. Just clean it through. Now this looks really messy, but once you clean it up, it's going to look just fine. So I'm going to put on the lash system, which are the clips. You don't want any lippage. Maximum is a credit card, so see, here's good. It's actually pretty good. Oh, see? There's a little bit of lippage right down over here. This one's good. Right over here. So I'm actually going to go from the bottom. And I use the tool. Clip right through. Try to put this on. And now there's no lippage. So what the system does is, when you're clipping it, it's pulling one tile and pushing the other one at the same time. All right, so I finished tiling the wall in the basement bathroom. The pattern that I decided to go with is a 33% offset. So the first one is a full 12 by 24. Then that one I started 1/3 of the size. Then that's 2/3, and that's 2/3. And then I started with 1/3 and then full size. It's definitely a lot more work than doing a half offset pattern, but I think it came out pretty good. Despite my first time doing a wall tile job, which is completely different than a floor because you're dealing with gravity. So A, the thin set gravity, and then B, holding all the tiles in place and making sure everything is exactly 1/4 inch apart. So yeah. Oh, I'm making the holes. I messed up over here. Totally messed up. I hope there's an escutcheon plate or some sort of plate cover that'll cover that, because I don't know if the tub spout is long enough for that. This one came out pretty good, and then that one came out perfect. All right, on to the main bath. Basement bathroom is done. So I got the floors done. It's a little dirty, but I just got to clean that up. Did the tiles. Bathroom did the same as upstairs, so low flush and high flush. And I got my vanity too. So everything is done. Oh, the mirror's right there. Just got to go ahead and install that. All right.